All right, everybody, I am going to do a quick take on these product and power rules and the quotient to power rules. And we're going to take a look at this one. This is product because it is multiplication. So when we're talking about exponents, we can combine like bases. So again, bases are the big numbers. And then when we combine them with certain rules. So I'm going to show you what the rule is, and then I'm going to show you another way to do it in case you do forget how to do the rule, because that's always the part that I think really people struggle with the most. So when we're looking at this problem, I am going to take the 4 as well as the 2. Those I can multiply normally. 4 times 2 is 8, simple enough. And then I have to take a look at the next portions. Now the next portions are my x's. They have the same basis, x and x. So we have this and we have this. And this is all a multiplication problem. So when we're looking at that, everything's getting multiplied. Now, when we look at the base, same base with exponents, we look at what's called the product law. The product law states that if I have the same base, I can take the exponents that I have in that problem and add them together, and then I have my answer. In this case, if I add 4 and 3 together, I get an x to the 7th power. And again, that is essentially saying it's times itself that many times. So if x to the 4th power, it means that x is being multiplied by itself 4 times. Here, x is being multiplied by itself 3 times. And then we have our last portion, which is the y's. So we have y here and we have y here. Now the y that you see first, the first y right here, there is no number next to it. So anytime you have no number, it essentially is the number 1. We don't write the number 1, it's an invisible number. It's kind of like when we don't write a coefficient in front of a variable, it means that it's 1. Well, that's the same thing here. So you're saying it's y times itself, just that one time. And then here we have 8 of those y's being multiplied by itself. So same base, we add our exponents, 1 plus 8, which is 9. So simplified, this would be what my answer is. Now again, if you are a struggler of being able to memorize things, which is always the problem, I feel like, well, the numbers you can multiply easy enough, I hope. It's more of the x's and the y's and all these rules that you're going to see. So what I usually tell people to do is when they're doing something like this, write it out. So the exponent there is 4. So you essentially have x written times itself 4 times. So there it is right there. Now over here, I have 3 of them. So since it's all multiplication, I'm going to write 3 more of them. And then I just count them up. That becomes your exponent. I'll do the same thing with my y's. There's 1 y here. There's no exponent, so it's 1. Here, there's 8. So I'm just going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I count them up. I get 9. So my y is an exponent of 9. And then when we take a look at this problem right over here, you see these numbers. Obviously, they're all numbers. You could actually calculate these, but again, we're doing this without a calculator, and we're trying to just simplify. So we've got 2 things going on in here. We have the product law in the numerator. We also have the product law in the denominator. We're going to start that first, and then we're going to do the quotient law as the numerator versus the denominator. Now, all 6s, so they all have a base of 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by our product law, which is taking the same base. We add our exponents together, 8 plus 2, which is going to be 10. So 6 to the 10th power. We do the same thing down here in the bottom. Same base is multiplied. We're going to add our exponents, 5 plus 3, which would give me 8. And then that takes over the product law. Now we're going to additionally do the quotient law. So the quotient law, to simplify this, is to simply take the same bases and then subtract the numerator minus the denominator numbers for the exponents. 10 minus 8 is 2. So my finalized answer here would be 6 to the 2nd power. Obviously, if I wanted to simplify this 100%, I would do 6 times 6 and get 36. Now, again, if you were one of those people that struggles really hard with remembering all these rules, you literally can just write 6 to the 8th power. You write it out 6 times, or 8 times, sorry. Write the 6 out 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I'm going to do 2 more, because that's 6 to the 2nd power. And then we're going to do the same thing down here. You've got 6 5 times. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then there's 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And then when you're ready, you start canceling. Every 6 that's up in the numerator has a 6 in the denominator. They cancel each other out, leaving me with just 1. So I can cancel, 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 cancel. Cancel them all until they're done and count how many you're left with. In that case, you're left with 2 in the numerator, which means it's a positive exponent of 2, 6 to the 2nd power. If you want more questions like these, you can find them on my YouTube channel, YouWantAlgebra. Also on my Instagram and my TikTok, same name. Locate these in the playlist called Exponents. And you can make sure you like, share, follow for more, and I hope to see you soon.